I yeah, I do. I've written. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm a yes, former former student pilot. Give me a minute. Yeah, um, retired now though, so I have more time to play. So yeah, I was electrician for Welch's for about 45 years. I can't say that I do, but a lot of times the screen names don't match. So should I remember you? Okay. In real life or on the screen, or maybe on a forum. Okay. All right. Okay. How many years ago though? I haven't been streaming all that long. Yeah, maybe 2 years, 3 years. So. Well, welcome back then. All righty. Gonna get ourselves lined up here. Got a few things I got to do before I can get going here. First thing is try to get myself squared up in the cockpit here. Come on. Why are you doing this to me? Don't do that. I don't want to go outside the airplane. That's way off. Wow. Come on. My controller is giving me grief this morning. Not sure why. I'll go with that for right now. It's a little off, but it'll be okay. Okay, let's get rid of you. Bring this in here. Bring this in here. Come on. Leave. Stay there. So let me get some plugins loaded. Why with Lua macros? Okay. Plugins. Checklist. Open checklist. So I'm hoping I can fly today. It looks like away from this airport I'll be okay, but getting out of this airport may be a little bit of fun, but we'll just see how it goes. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm still not happy. Better, not yet though. So what I'm trying to do is look straight at my straight at the yoke and get it lined up. So this says put it in the pilot seat, so, but it doesn't stay. When I finally get where I want, the icon goes to the menu, and it's just annoying right now. That's good enough. I'm looking, but I'm looking crooked. So basically my yoke is here, so I'm looking out this way, and I'm just trying to get that straightened up. That's good enough. So these out of the way. We got that. This working? Yep, that's working. Okay, dokie. So we are. Where the heck are we at? I don't know where at. I need to get some airports in here. Normally I do this kind of beforehand, but I was running a little bit late. And where are we at here? KHMZ. KHMZ. Bedford. Where are we going? Altoona. Hey, whoops. So I had made a different flight plan. KAOO. Altoona. And then I looked on SkyVector and went, oh, that's not good. There's TFR right where I was going to fly, KMDT. MDT. So I basically made a flight plan that went around the TFR. KTHV. KTHV. York. And KMOS. Q. KMQS. Chester. Okay. And we are here right now. And I will, I have Navigraph. So Navigraph allows me to bring in airports. So it basically allow me, why that's true. I would have thought, put that back over there. I would have thought that would have, if I clicked on that, it would have centered it. But it didn't look like it did that. So that's okay. I can just interesting. For some reason, let me do the so GeoTIFF gonna be in Detroit. Detroit sectional. Okay, so that worked. Airport. Huh. I don't know why. It doesn't show my position on this map. I'm not so sure why. Okay, so we got that in here. So let's put you down out of the way. What time we got? 52. We're a little early. So wait a little bit. So yeah. So I was an electrician for 45 years, and I worked at get my mic where it belongs. Make sure I'm talking. Yeah, okay, I'm talking. So I was electrician for 45 years, and during that time I programmed. So I wrote programmable logic code, but also I did computer programming at the same time. So currently I'm a plugin developer for Xplane. So this plugin right here, X Checklist, I'm a co-author of that. So me and Michael lives in the Czech Republic. Basically, we did a combined effort, and we both wrote X Checklist. So I've also written SATIC panels, so the SATEC panels, the radio panel, the switch panel, multi-panel, and backlight information panel. I wrote the plugin that basically allows Xplane interface with that on Windows, Mac, and Linux. The other thing is I took over from Kirsten Leichner, Fly with Lua. And so I am the head of development currently for Fly with Lua. So like this little scripty here, this is a Fly with Lua script. So I have a camera that basically looks down at me so it's looking at my headset, and it's also looking at my yoke. So you can see that I have my controllers like on the yoke, so you can see that. But what you can't see is you can't see my rudder pedals. And so I wrote a script. These are my rudder pedals. So if I shove the right rudder pedal in all the way, then the left one's coming all the way back. Same way as I shove the left one in all the way, the right one's coming back. If I rotate the pedals, that will it'll release a parking brake, but you can actually see how far I have the brakes in. So that's a Fly with Lua script. This is also a Fly with Lua script. This is landing rate, and I didn't write that one. I borrowed it, and I kind of helped the author get it to work better in VR. So. Hardware-wise, I'm running a Vive Pro 2, and because it has a poor microphone on it, I have an Atline mod mic. Morning, Captain Bombasso. How are you doing this morning? Did you get your crystal up and running yet? So I had to do that. I also put some counterweights on the back of it to kind of make it not as front heavy as it was. And that all has helped, but it's made it heavy. So my Vive Pro 2, probably the way it is right now, and also I have a fan on it. So my Vive Pro 2 right now probably weighs about as much as a crystal does. So we're pretty close to the same weight. So I'm going to a BigScreen Beyond, and so that'll be about a tenth the weight. so it's going to be a pretty dramatic change here. So, alrighty, I think I'm in pretty good shape right now. So let me see here. Other than a little grief with Habitab, and that's not a big deal. I can figure this out. So, I'll go ahead and start getting the plane ready. So next.
OBS Sim Sound.
OBS Sim Sound. Check.
Check. Mod mic in position.
Yes.
Check. OBS mod mic sound.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Check. OBS streaming.
Yes, we are.
Check. Over toolkit windows.
I can fully understand that. Kind of when you start that kind of stuff, you kind of don't want to stop. So I can fully understand you want to kind of lay out some open hours in front of you to make sure you can kind of continue. So I fully understand. I would be the same way. Yes.
Check. Fly with Lewis sounds script.
Yep.
Check. AVI tab plugin.
That's here.
Check. Rep weight and balance.
Alrighty. Let's put some fuel in this guy. So the plane I'm flying is a default Cessna 172 with the reality expansion pack. This guy here. So I'm going to put some fuel in here. I'm going to put about 17. That should be about right. One seven. That should be about 3 hours. So apply. That's good.
Check. Rep maintenance log.
So this one we go check and see if I broke anything. Maintenance report. So cylinders are okay. 2 or 3 streams ago, I broke an engine. I don't know how I did it, but in the end, I had 2 broken cylinders. So all looks okay. Okay. Just a little discharge, not too bad. Okay. I'll fix that. Don't cost me anything. Don't know why that happened, but that's okay. All right.
Check. 2 brakes.
Okay.
Test and set. 3 fuel selector. Both. 4 fuel shutoff valve. On, in. 6 beacon. On. 7 avionics switch. Off. 8 master switch. On. 9 throttle. Open 1/4 inch. 10 mixture. Idle cut off. A auxiliary pump. On. B mixture. Rich until 3 to 5 GPH then cut off. C auxiliary pump. Off. 12 starter. Engage. 1 ignition switch. Start. 2 mixture, at engine start. Rich. 3 engine. RPM 1000 RPM. 4 oil pressure. Check. 5 mixture. Leaned max. 6 flaps. Retract. 7 avionics. On. 8 instruments.
Okay, so we're at 1163. So it's not bad there. 1163. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. Alrighty. So, let's look at our heading indicator. We're between 12 and 15. So that ain't quite right. That's way off. So about here. What are we closer to? Almost in the middle, so we'll put it right about there and say close enough. Set.
Set. 1 brakes.
We're good now. So, so we have the engine idling at 1,000 RPM. That'll, without hurting the engine, allow it to warm up as fast as it can. So that's kind of the plan. We're gonna have to wait a little bit. So, where are we at here? So I'm on the Unicom frequency for Bedford here, and so I should be able to get weather. Let's say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Hotel Mike Zulu is overcast. Visibility is 10 miles. Winds are calm. Cloud coverage is 6,500. Overcast. Current altimeter is 299.5. Temperature 20 dew point 20.
Say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 14.
Okay. So that's pretty much where the heading bug is. Alright. So it says it's straight in front of me, which seems a little bit odd to me. So let's go back and look at the I've got everything I think I need here. So yeah, I don't know why that disappeared. So okay, all right, I'm good. I confused myself. So we got to basically got to do about a 180, and so I think if I go over to that taxiway there, I think I go up, I think I'll be okay. I think it's so there's no tower here, so I don't need to get permission. I can just kind of watch, and I thought it would move at about 1,000. Yeah. Just need a little more to get it to kind of move. Maybe I'm going uphill. Oh, we'll give it a little bit more. We'll go up to 1,200. There we go. Okay. Yep. So the heading bug is in the bottom, so I'm going the correct direction. when I get to the end of this taxiway, when I spin around, I should, I'll be at the end of 1-4. So. What's this? Slow down a little bit here. This looks a little weird. Kind of like out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, maybe it's a run-up. That's what it probably is. So, yeah. That's probably a run-up area, by the looks of it. It's not marked, but yeah, that's got to be a run-up area. Okay. I was just trying to figure out what the... it didn't look like it was a taxiway. It didn't look like it went far. And I know I can see the fence here, so it's kind of like... It can't go too far there because it's going to run into the fence, so... There's actually another one up here. It's kind of interesting. That is not on the chart. Yeah, neither one of these is on the chart. That's kind of interesting how much tarmac is here. And according to the chart, it's not there at all. So. Alrighty, so we'll get spun around here. I'll hold short here. Put the brakes on, turn taxi off, landing on, nav on, strobes on. Make sure it's trimmed for takeoff. Lights are on. Make sure heading looks about right. It's off by just a little bit. That's better. If I look at that, it's pretty close. Could be a little bit more. Right there should be good. Alrighty. Windsock kind of agrees that wind's coming from this way, coming towards us, so should be good. One thing I forgot to do. Whoops, stop. Let's get this done first. So, let's bring you up here. And we'll set the cursor. Drop it down 1. Whoops. Don't do that. Oh, come on. Oh, why did you have to do that? Give me just a second. I gotta fix something on my desktop. Okay, that looks better. With these controllers, especially if I have the desktop up, it's pretty easy to kind of do like a drag motion or something like that, and it will it dragged the window. So I'm trying to get this. What I'm trying to do is get it closer. Because this text is really small. So it's Altoona. So and in a real airplane, you'd have a paper chart. Or you'd have a plate plan. Altoona. Enter. So, next one is KMDT. Harrisburg. KTHV. HV. That's York. Last one. KMQS. Jasper. So if I go flight plan. Yep. Alrighty. Yeah, like I said, I mean, because I have a 34-inch screen, so these windows are pretty small in here. I mean, so I have to bring them pretty close when I'm trying to read that small of text. If I had it like over in here in my Pilot HTC, I probably need to do that from now on. So if I have the flight plane in here, then that would make this way more easier. And I think from now on I'm going to do that. So I have in the past, but I kind of got out of that habit. So, all right. So I got all the right lights on, and I got a flight plan dialed in, so we can go fly. How bad's it going to be? Oh, I don't know. This looks kind of entertaining. What's our heading going to be? Our heading going to be 45. So, alrighty. We're just looking over my gauges, make sure everything's in the green here. Everything looks pretty good. In fact, we don't have a flat runway here. It's like a ski jump. Alrighty, up off the ground we go. Hopefully we'll climb fast enough I don't catch that rise. So I'm not quite sure where the clouds are. Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Hotel Mike Zulu is broken. Visibility is 10 miles, winds are calm, cloud coverage is 6,500 broken.
Okay.
Current altimeter is 2994. Temperature 24 dew point 17.
Alrighty. So the cloud should be a non-issue. Elevation here was around 1100 if I remember correctly, and so 6,000. Yeah, those are a non-issue. So I'm up here about high enough. I'm kind of just flying runway heading for a little bit here until I go turn on my flight plan. Righty. So I got to go to a heading of 45. So that would be to my left. So I'll click on nav again, and hopefully the airplane takes me there. Gonna say, hopefully you'll stop turning pretty quick here. So we're 14 miles from the next airport, Altoona. So we're gonna do a touch and go there. So we are running, those look kind of bad. Yeah, we'll level up here at 3,000. Hopefully we'll be okay. I'll pull the power back to like 2,200. We're using X-Plane 1206 Beta 4. My goal, my hope was, not goal, hope, was that Beta 5 would have got released either yesterday or today. And that did not happen. So so I stuck with Beta 4. If I would have been able, if Beta 5 would have come out early enough, I would have used that today. But I wanted to have some time to kind of play with it a little bit and make sure it's what I think it is. So, because I did use a test copy that basically had my bug fixes fixed, and but what I don't know is how many other things they put in 5 that may have caused me grief. So we'll kind of wait until they come out with it. So we're on 4. Same thing I've been running for a stream or 2 now. So okay, are you gonna turn? Hopefully. Alright. I didn't activate the light, so I was kind of curious if it was going to get back on course. That looks like it is, so I'm good. Alrighty, I need to, we don't need that airport chart anymore. Okay, we're going to Altoona. We got 2 runways. One's 54 and one's 36, so either one's okay, but got no tower. All we have is the CTAF. Set COM1 standby 123.600.
123.02 is not a valid frequency for COM1.
Because I didn't say that. Set COM1 standby 123.6000.
123.02 is not a valid frequency for COM1.
Set COM1 standby 123.60.
COM1 standby set to 123.8.
Set COM1 standby 123.6.
COM1 standby set to 123.4.
Set COM1 standby 123.6.
COM1 standby set to 123.6.
I don't enunciate well enough, and it lets me know. Stay active runway for Kilo Alpha Oscar.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 21.
Okay. So, we'll get the heading bug to 21. Altitude 1500. So I need to be at pattern altitude is 2500. So we're 7.5 miles away. So we'll wait a little bit here. About 5 miles out, I'll probably drop off the autopilot and start descending. So I find it's beneficial if you were a little bit higher to actually see an airport from a distance. So if you're like at pattern altitude flying in here, sometimes the hard part is the runways. Depending on the angle you're at. Right now, I'm Quite frankly, I'm lined up really, really, really good for a downwind approach, because I put the heading bug in there. The heading bug's in the bottom, so that's this is a real good approach. So. But you got to see it. And right now I can't say I do, but it's 5.3 miles away, so that's probably believable. So I'm kind of glad that the weather kind of, when I checked it this morning, it was bad. There was at least probably 2 or 3 of the airports I wanted to go to that were, yeah, there was no way. The cloud cover was way too low, so I was kind of hoping if during the morning, once the sun comes out, that, you know, it burns off any of the lower clouds and stuff, and it seems like that absolutely happened. Alrighty, I'm at 3.9. We'll kill the autopilot. I am not sure why that was true. I thought I had pulled the power back on that. That's a little weird. It was on, the engine was like a red line, and I didn't. I thought I had pulled it back to like 2200, so something changed. I don't know what changed. Maybe, maybe that turned. There we go. Okay, the airport's right there. I can see the runway. Let me look. Yeah, that's gotta be it. 2.4 away, yeah, that's it. Alrighty, so whoops. For some reason my trim was like out to lunch. Oh, I know why. Because I had so much engine power in that the way it trimmed it way nose down, so I gotta do a little work here to get everything back in line here. So okay, so we're doing a touch and go here, and pattern altitude is 2500. Yep. And I'm about 27, so I'm real good right now. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Altoona, Blair County, Multicom on 123.6. Please repeat your request.
So I'm trying to trim it to get the airspeed down a little bit here. That's way better now. About the right distance away. The runway is in the middle of my strut. I'm actually a little bit high, so I'm gonna have to get rid of a little bit more altitude than I normally would. If I was at 2500, I'm about 200 above, so I'm not a lot. Alrighty, that's the end of the runway. So I'm gonna pull the power back a little bit, maybe 1700. 1 notch of flaps. Whoops, not quite that much, Bill. I wanted to descend, but not quite like that. And so we're okay now. Once she kind of balances out, she should be around, no, I don't know, between 75 and 65. Yeah, we're okay. I'm at 75. Alrighty, I'm looking to be at a 45 with that. Trying to make sure I keep parallel. I did. So we're going to turn in here and put the second notch of flaps in. Right now I'm at 1500 RPM, and that probably is okay. Just trying to let the plane let the nose drop. If I pull up too much on it, it's going to the airspeed will tend to fall off too much. So we're turning around. There we go. We're lined up. The runway should be right there. It is. So we got to come over a little bit. So I'm at like 2100. Okay, so I'm high. I'm also a little slow. Gonna try to let that nose drop a little more because I'm high. You want to turn? Try not to be too steep. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf on final for runway 21. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf turning on final for runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Altoona, Blair County, Multicom on 123.6. Please repeat your request.
Think I'm a little bit here. Let's give it a little bit more power to get on here. Now we're good. But a landing, but poor and late flare. I love it. Alrighty, 65, up we go. Trying to readjust the trim wheel for takeoff. So when I'm climbing up, if I got the power in all the way, it should climb out at around 80 knots. I see it's a little bit, I'm climbing out a little too steep, so, but it's 70, but it's still fine. Okie dokie, we need to be on a heading of 105. So that'll once again be off to our left. So I want to make sure I get up here off this far enough above the runway, but I'm staying on a runway heading. So until I get out away from the airport. So, heading 105. Got a long ways to go. Got 71 miles to go. So, I'll go ahead and turn. I was watching the airspeed drop a little bit there when I was doing the turn, so I just kind of looked at it and made sure that it stopped turning, and then as soon as it stopped turning, then the airspeed increased. So it's going to take us a little bit till we get to the plane to the magenta line. I can actually, I'm going to take it out of autopilot. And I'm going to turn it to the left a little bit here. And try to intercept the line. I'm flying the default 172 with the reality expansion path. So hopefully if I get this plane a little closer. Let's see what it does. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Yeah, that's better. I have flown the Airfoil Labs 172, but I haven't flown that in a long time. So I prefer this 172. So. Oh, a couple. So when I first started, I was flying a 172N, and so that one would have had just trying to listen to my plane here a minute. Yeah, I think I'm okay. Yeah. So it was an N. So in other words, it was it had carburetor. And so it had carb heat, had all that stuff. That's what I started on. And then a little, during my training, then they got some SPs. So those were fuel injected. And which is what the plane in X-plane is an SP. And so a distinct difference is on an N, I think you only had about 4 sumps for fuel. On the SP, I think it was at least 8, if not 10. So you had 10 sumps you had to check, to make sure there wasn't any water in the fuel. It was annoying, but it is what it is, and you had to do it. So, but it was annoying. So, oh yeah, it was nuts. But hey, it is what it is. So, 'cause I remember one day because always when I went to fly, I would normally have the fueler go ahead and top the tanks off. It was just something that I wanted done, and so I remember they did that, and so I'm walking out. I mean, after he's filled it, so of course you check the level and stuff, and I'm going over the plane and I'm looking, and I'm like, I seen something wet on the bottom of the wing. I'm like, what is this? And so I wiped my finger across it, smelled it. It was fuel. I went, uh-oh, this is not good. And so what happened is there was a crack in the upper part of the tank. If you didn't completely fill the tanks up, it wouldn't be above that crack. So I call my flight because I'm soloing. So I call my flight instructor and says, "Hey, you got to come out here and take a look." So he come out and he says, "Oh yeah, you're not flying this airplane." And there was another one over there. He says, "You can fly that one." I said, "No." I says, "I'm prepped for this one." I says, "We'll just see. We'll have the mechanic come over, see what the deal is, and we'll go from there." So it comes over and he's pulling panels off and stuff. He can't find it. He can't. "Hello, ILS Scotsman. How are you doing this morning?" And so he's pulling panels off trying to find it. He couldn't find it. They ended up having to put it in the shop where we took off more panels and finally found the crack in the upper part of the tank. So, but if I would not have had them fill the tank completely full, then never would have seen that crack. So never would have found that crack. So, but that's just a heck of a feeling. You wipe your finger across and you smell it, and you just know what that smell is. It's like, oh, this isn't good. So, and that's what I thought. I went, no, I'm not flying today. So, but the whole point of a check pre-flight is exactly that. So, yeah, oh yeah. So. Yeah, because we had like two different SPs. I liked one, and the other one I just hadn't flown as much, hardly at all actually. So I wasn't as comfortable in that one as I was in the one I normally flew. So, because when you would schedule a flight, you could pick which plane, or on the flight scheduler it it will let you know like what plane's available. So, you know, what plane's available and what CFI is available. So. So we got a ways to go here. So my goal is to fly at around 3,000 feet, and I think when I looked at Sky Vector, that all should work. There's going to be some ridges that I might have to get up over, but I think in general I'm going to be okay. So yeah, when I was planning this flight, I looked and I seen these TFRs, and I was like, nah, well, I'll just fly through them. So, and then this morning I get up and I look, and the flight plan that I put in Sky Vector, for some reason it's gone. It's not there anymore. And I'm like, and I forgot to like write it down. So normally I'll not only have it in Sky Vector, but I'll have it in OBS. I mean, in on the stream title. You know, so normally I'll have it in more than one place, but I hadn't got around to updating the stream title. So I went, okay, well, let's just redo the flight plan, and let's figure out a flight plan that goes around the TFR. So that's what I did. So, because there's a TFR, there's always a TFR at Washington. I'm not too far from Washington, but I'm not close to that TFR. And then there's another one that's south, it'd be south of us. Pretty big one. And I got no idea, it just says VIP. And then there's another one that's to the east and north a little bit. And that's a smaller one. I don't know what, that's another VIP one, so I don't know what's going on. So it just says, I'll just change my flight plan and go around it, so. Because what my goal is I'm trying to fly around the edges of Pennsylvania. So basically around the border of, so on the southern border, on the western border, on the eastern border, and on the northern border. I'm trying to fly along those borders all the way around Pennsylvania until I get back to Erie again. And wherever I end up, whatever airport I end up with, that's where I take off from. The first flight of this adventure, I ended up not making it to my intended destination because I blew up the engine. So hopefully I won't do that again. Claudio knows that I have a problem in VR with the information window. It doesn't get big enough for 2 lines of text, so he's going to look at it, but he's going to be out of town for a couple of weeks, so I told him, I says, I'll try not to break the airplane so I won't need it. So we'll see how it goes. But this is what a lot of Pennsylvania is. There is a lot of trees. So when it is called Penn's Woods, yeah, there's a lot of woods in Pennsylvania. So, and amazingly, a lot of it's untouched. It's pretty crazy that there's vast stretches of Pennsylvania that is just not touched. So. So the clouds, once again, I think are looking just spectacular, so. Taking them a while to get here, but not bad. I mean, if they look nice in VR, that's even better, so. They did quite a bit of, I submitted quite a few bug reports on OpenXR, OpenXR. And everything I've checked, they have them, they fixed them. So I'm kind of looking forward to 1206 Beta 5, because my bug fixes, the ones that I submitted, are supposed to be in Beta 5. So When it drops, I don't know. I checked this morning, it's not on the server, so not yet. But all in all, I'm pretty happy. I'm running X-World and Global Force version 2. And I'm happy with the progress. It's slow, you know, but it is getting, as long as I see progress, and they do, they're tending, in 11 it seemed like they did pretty big releases, so they would make massive changes, where here they seemingly are, and I think the rest of 06 is just bug fixes. So they're just trying to resolve the bugs that they already have on their plate. They're trying to get them before they add any new features. Other than I wasn't sure what that flashing was. I had to look. Other than the fact that they added OpenXR support. Other than that, that's a change. So, and because of that, they brought some bugs come along with that. So. I wonder where those clouds end up. Yeah, maybe. I think they'll be okay. So I'm like above these ridges by 500 feet. Got to be something like that. They're not close at all. So. So Altoona, like where we did a touch and go at, I mean that's where the horseshoe curve is. So the reason there's a horseshoe curve is because of mountains. I couldn't figure out how to get the trains up over the mountains, so they kind of brought the railroad into kind of like a box canyon like, and made a 180-degree turn. And if you ever been there, I mean the climb and elevation is really crazy. I mean it climbs a lot. So it comes in on the low side, comes around, then as it's coming in, you know, it's climbing, goes all the way around on this 180, and then climbs on its way back up. But they were trying to make the climb not so high, you know, that you couldn't get a train through there. But even when they do, they actually have pusher trains, or pusher engines. This is looking bad. This is looking quite bad. Not so sure what I'm going to do here. I don't see a way out of here. I can go lower, but not a lot. Yeah, we're still okay. Yeah, well, no reason to panic quite yet. But at Horseshoe Curve, so they have engines pulling it, and then they also have engines pushing it, you know, to kind of make the train make it through there. It's pretty bizarre how they do that. So, oh yeah, we're good. It was just underneath a pretty solid cloud. But yeah, that was pretty neat going there. So. Yep, still doing good for frames. I think pretty much my whole 1206 run I've been able to, with the settings that I have, I've been able to hold 45 pretty solid. And I mean, as you saw, that was serious overcast, and it didn't really change the frames hardly at all. So that's pretty cool. So I'm in VR. I'm using scenery X World scenery add-on and Global Forest version 2, and the frames still stay the same, stay good. So that's good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, and this is about what I thought I saw on the Sky Vector. Is there was a few ridges that I was going to be going over, so, but it was kind of hard to judge. So what you don't know is where when you look like on a sectional chart, they'll have like some altitudes. Basically, what they are is the highest altitude in kind of that area. So. But what you don't know is for sure, is the flight plan you're on, the track you're on, that may not be the highest altitude. It may be lower. By the looks of it, it is. So if you look over that way, that's higher than what this is. So sometimes it's kind of hard to judge to make sure, you know. But I mean, but also there was none of them that were like, say, 55. I think the highest I seen was 3,600, so I'm at 3,000. So yeah, I can go up another 500, as long as the clouds don't say no, you can't. But I can easily go up another 500,000 feet. So. But that's the only problem you run into, is that if you want to do that and there's clouds above you, it's kind of like, oh no, you're not going to do that. So then you have to start kind of picking and choosing where can you find like an area over there where it's lower, where you can find an area where you can get under the clouds and just make your and then circle on back, find another place where you can get back on your course. But so far not needed. Check what temp is. Alright, 64, we're good. KMDT. Harrisburg. Oh, we got a tower. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, we were in Houston about a month and end of June. Yeah, towards the end of June, we were in Houston, so. But I've driven through the panhandle of Texas. I didn't realize how big the panhandle is. that seemed like it took me a day to drive through that. I don't know. It probably didn't, but it seemed that way. Glad I didn't decide to pick the southern route. So I was coming back from basically from Tucson, Arizona. I was coming back to Erie, Pennsylvania. So, so I did that drive in 3 days, and so I would drive about quite a bit, at over 12, probably 14, 15 hours, and then I'd sleep for a few hours, and then I'd start driving again. But I was 23, so I was young and dumber. But I wanted to get home, so, and I did. But that was a long drive. Yeah, we're stationed in Fort Huachuca, Fort Huachuca, Arizona, so south of Tucson by 70 miles. It's close to the Mexican border, not real close, but closer. And so in the area was, Sierra Vista was right outside, Tombstone was close, Bisbee, where the big copper mine is, that was close, and Nogales was close. So. But it was just amazing, like out there, like how far you could drive and just find nothing. I mean, just nothing. It's just crazy. So and they always said like it's a desert, and I'm like, it's not a desert. It's kind of like it's not really a prairie either. It's kind of, there's no trees, you know, it's just brush, and if there's trees, then there's got to be water. It's got to be like a stream or a river or something like that. But if there isn't water, there ain't no trees. But I spent a year out there, so went into service in about 70. Spent probably 16, probably 20 or 25 weeks in New Jersey, and then they shipped me to Izmir, Turkey, and I was stationed with NATO forces for a year and a half there, and then the last year I was in the service, I was in Fort Huachuca, Arizona. I taught electronics in electronics warfare course, and so we basically, the goal of the course was to, if you give somebody a good enough manual and enough basic training, and all your equipment is modular, can you have an operator be able to, at a modular level, find a module that's bad, and you have a spare one, you put it in its place, and the equipment works again. That was kind of the goal of the course, and it seemed to work, because when I went to work at Welch's after that, as an electrician, pretty much all our equipment was modular too, and you did the same thing. You rarely fixed a module. You basically changed one out and sent it to a repair center to be fixed. So it was exactly the same concept. So it was kind of interesting how forward thinking that concept was. So. Yeah, so when I was in Turkey, I got orders to go to Arizona, Fort Huachuca, and on there it said SCH, and I'm like, I got a year left. I says, why would they send me back to school? No, I didn't realize I was going to be a teacher, so I didn't catch that part of it at all. So, but actually, give me I did go back to school, but I went back to school to learn how to teach. That was actually a great course. It was wasn't too long. I think it was 4 or 5 weeks, but it basically taught you how to teach. So in other words, can you read somebody and tell if your delivery worked, and if it didn't, read that and go, did you get that, or do I need to try again? So, but it actually taught you that, and that was as an electrician, I was always kind of like training people, so it helped tremendously, you know, where you could kind of like, you know like, that didn't work. for whatever reason, that didn't work. You better try a different approach to try to convey the same information, so. Excuse me. Okay, 29 miles to go. So weather actually hasn't been too bad. A couple of places it was a little iffy, but not terrible. Yeah, so 76 is the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And when I was stationed in Fort Monmouth, New Jersey, I was advanced training. We basically, me and a friend that lived, he lived a little bit west of Pittsburgh. I lived in Erie, so I lived up north. So we would actually hitchhike on 76 every weekend for, I think we did it for 4 or 5 weekends. So every weekend we'd go home for, because we didn't have anything to do over the weekend, so we could just go home. So when he first mentioned that we're gonna hitchhike, I'm like, really? I'm like, at the time I'm like 20. I'm like young, kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. You know, but actually it worked. I was pretty surprised. But I hitchhiked in uniform, and at the time, that was the okay thing to do, and so we and I never had any issue like getting back home, but once you got like close to so we would come in and we would end up on, pretty sure it would be the New Jersey Turnpike, and when we got close, because it was on like a late Sunday night, early Monday morning, so you'd have all this traffic going to New York City. So the road would just get backed up. So you could actually like say to whoever's giving you a ride, hey, I'm close enough. I'm going to get out and I'm going to go look for a Fort Monmouth sticker. So you'd go, and normally you would look for an enlisted sticker, not an officer sticker. so you look for a Fort Monmouth sticker, and then you knock on the window and say, hey, can I get a ride into the base? And most of the time it was no big deal. Oh, sure, jump in. You know, I mean, so, but normally you didn't do that to an officer because you're I was like an E. Let me think here. Yeah, I would have been like an E1 or something like that. So, you know, so it's kind of like, yeah, that would probably be inappropriate. So, but that's what we would do, you know, to kind of make that final journey into the base. So, because it was obvious on the cars, you know, you could see the sticker, you know, that was like the parking sticker for the base. So. But that was also when there was like protests for, you know, for the war and that type of stuff at the time in '70. So, so I distinctly remember, where was it? Oh, where '79 and '76 come together. They weren't connected at the time. They just weren't. So you had to get off in '79 and kind of walk for a little ways to get to where the toll booths were to get on the 76 on the turnpike. And where this toll booth was, there was like kind of, the road was lower, and then there was these hills right there. And because you had people that were protesting the war, well, they were trying to hitch rides to DC. So you normally, I mean, you would get picked up easy. They not so much. So it was a little crazy in that area itself. So. There's a golf course down there. I had to make some adjustments to X World to get my golf courses to show up like that. They, by default, they don't. There's kind of like a missing file or something, and so I had to do a little bit of, I had to add this missing file, and then I had to readjust the configuration a little bit to get them to show. So, but now they show pretty good. So I mean, it's kind of like golf courses, because they're like a landmark you can see from quite a ways away. You can see a golf course. So, and basically what you can see is like the greens and the fairways and the sand traps. I mean, you can see them from some distance. So you can probably see them further away than what you can see a runway in an airport, depending on the conditions. So let me set the tower frequency and standby. Set COM1 standby at 124.8.
COM1 standby set to 124.08.
Set COM1 standby 124.80.
COM1 standby set to 124.88.
I don't want 88. There we go. So sometimes it isn't worth the bother. I just use my controller and set it. So we're 15 miles out, so we're not too far away now. So I think I got 2 more airports to go. Yep. So one's 17 miles and the other one's 46. So. says it's about 9 minutes to go. So I have the resolution of this headset set right around native, so it's 2448 by 2448, and so I have it at 2508. So it's right around native res. So, but it's good enough that I can from this position I can see the distance, you know, to the decimal point. I can see the distance remaining. So I think this has got to be the Susquehanna River. Ain't quite close enough, but I believe that's what that is. It would be correct for the area. I think I'm gonna go off my chart. I don't remember what sectional chart is next to Detroit on the east side. Hopefully I have one. Well, let's look. We have Detroit. Could it be Washington? I don't think. Whoop, I didn't plan on doing that. I don't know. No more than a month and a half. I'm on the, I ordered mine, pre-ordered it on the 13th of February, so I'm in the first part of the public pre-order. Let's try New York. Hello. All right, that's New York. I was going off my chart, my map. So, all right, we're good. So let's go back to airports. Okay, 6.9. Oh, there's my airport. No, that can't be my airport. No. Yeah. Yeah, where I live, it's Detroit. I'm far enough to the east that I'm into the New York sectional, so. But I have all of them, so it's not a big deal, so. Just a matter of trying to remember which one it should be, so. Quit playing around. You got to fly an airplane here, Bill. Okay. So Harrisburg International is 310 feet, really? Wow, that's low. Okay, so let me flip. Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Mike Delta Tango is scattered. Visibility is 10 miles, winds are 141 at 5 knots, cloud coverage is 3,000 scattered. 7,000 scattered. Current altimeter is 29990. Temperature 282.19.
Say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 13.
One, two, 1, 3. Okay, so I'm lined up to land on that runway, but I'm not going to do that. So I'll pull power back a little bit, descend a bit. So 1-3, so 1,300 feet would be my pattern. So. Okay, that's the runway. So I'm parallel to it, but I am wrong. So how do I want to do this? I'll just go around the far end of it. I could go over here and do a T-drop out, but I'll just go past it and come around on the other side. Those certainly look like cooling towers. I was looking on my map to try to see if I could, if they were called out. I would thought they would have been, but Cessna 6 Bravo Golf inbound to land, runway 13.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, good afternoon. Altimeter is 29990, enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 13, pattern altitude is 1,300 feet.
Okay.
Call downwind.
Enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 13, pattern altitude 1,300 feet, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
It's probably a good idea not to fly over those. I didn't realize they were there. I know in, where is it? Berwick. Berwick on the Susquehanna, there's a nuclear power plant there, but I didn't know about this one. Or, I don't know if it's nuke actually. I just know those are cooling towers, and normally that's why you have them. Because nuclear runs pretty hot, and you got to get it cool. If you have a river, makes it easier. Okay, so I got to get out on the other side of this runway here. Because I'm just kind of gradually, I pulled the power back a little bit, just gradually letting it descend. So. She said 1,300 feet. So. Okay. Those are quite well modeled, though. I mean, you can see the upper part, and then you can see on the bottom where the brownish part is. You know, that's where the air comes in. So that's kind of cool. You know? So right now I'm just trying not to do anything kind of crazy. You know, I'm kind of keeping the speed around about 80 knots or so here. So I'm around 1,800 RPM. There we go. We're getting there. I'm taking time. Nothing needs to be done in a rush. So when I get down here, the heading bug is going to be in the bottom when I'm parallel to this runway. I'll probably pull a little more power out. That's 1,700, so. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 13.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 13.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 141 at 5 knots, cleared for the option runway 13.
Cool.
Cleared touch and go runway 13 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Okay. So, I'm just about the right distance away from the runway. Just checking if there's a display threshold. Doesn't look like there is. Oh, maybe there is. Yeah, it almost looks like there is. I'll know better when I get on final or closer. All right. Look a little bit. 1 notch of flaps. Try to get the plane to descend a little bit here. I want that runway to be about at a 45-degree angle. That looks a little weird. I don't know what that is over there. Yep, we're good. So we turn it on base. Put in my second notch of flaps. Try to make sure I don't climb right now. You're trying to descend about 500 feet a minute. And you're trying to do a standard grade turn. Too steep and you stall. So we're good. Nice, a nice square pattern here at 90 degrees for each turn. That's cool. Got 2 notches of flaps in. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final for touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 141 at 5 knots, cleared for the option runway 13.
Cleared touch and go runway 13 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Yep, display threshold. you can see the red lights that says land past me. So the piano keys are past that. So we're not doing too bad here. A little bit high, but not bad really. It's a pretty long runway, so got lots of room here. Trying to get my nose up just a little bit to bleed off some airspeed. So far I haven't succeeded. That's better. So we'll do a little dance on the pedals here to keep it going down the center line of the runway. Now she'll fly. Look at the trim wheel. Make sure she's trimmed for takeoff. Take your hands off, and we're climbing out about full power, about 75 knots. So pretty close. Okay, next heading will be 208. So that'll be to our right. But we'll fly here for a little bit, maintain, excuse me, maintain runway heading. And once we're 1,000, 1,500 feet above the runway, then we'll go ahead and make a right-hand turn to get on course. So. Okay, we're coming up on pattern altitude. So I give myself 500 feet above pattern and I'll start to make a climbing turn. And I'm trying to get on a heading of and because I probably should do this correctly, there's no way I can crank it around enough to get there. I'll just fly out this way a little bit and then I'll turn after I'm past the tower. So actually I'm on. Okay, I should be on a heading of, but I don't see a magenta line. That's kind of interesting. What's going on here? That's why. There they are. It's far enough off course that the magenta line, I'm going to take off disconnect the autopilot and fly to the magenta line. So it's only 14 miles away, so it's not very far. So, but I'm trying to get the airplane to that magenta line in the quickest way possible. And because I'm not on autopilot, I'm trying to trim the airplane at about 2,200 RPM. I'm level, close, but not quite there yet. When I get close enough to that magenta line, then I'll be able to put it on GPS mode, and it'll track it. And I can actually put it on altitude hold. Because I'm at 270 right now. And I should be at 208. There we go. Nav, altitude hold. So I told it to descend by 300 feet per minute. Get me back at 3,000 feet. Everything seems to be behaving. Probably pull back power a little bit. Okay, pretty close on course. Altitude hold. So, where are we going? KTHW, KHV. KTHV, 2 runways. Set COM1 standby 123.00.
123.02 is not a valid frequency for COM1.
I know. Set COM1 standby 123.0.
COM1 standby set to 123.0.
Okay. Nah, not too bad a flight today. Kind of accomplishing what I want, and until so it'll probably, trying to think, because I'm over, when I get done here, I'll be over kind of by Philadelphia. So I still got to go up the East Coast, and I got to go across the North Coast, the East boundary and the North boundary. So I'd say I'm about halfway through here. So what I try to do is make a flight about an hour. I think this one was about an hour and 12 minutes or something like that. So that way, like when you figure starting the stream and all that good funness, getting the plane started, then it turns out to be about a 2-hour stream, maybe a 2.5-hour stream. So, and that's probably, I would never say that's my limit, but that's way comfortable for me. So in the VR headset. it will be very interesting if that changes with the Beyond being a much more lighter headset. How that will influence it, because the one thing that is very that's true is this Vive Pro 2 gets warm. So I've added like a little I forgot what it is. It's a 20 or a 30 millimeter muffin fan, and basically I have it exhausting. So my goal is to pull air in from the vents on the bottom, pull it right up past the screens, and get it out of the headset. That's kind of my goal. And so far it works. It works pretty good. I can't hear it at all. And I can hear the airplane, but I can't hear that fan. So if the airplane isn't running, I'll hear a little bit of a hum from it. That's all. And but if the airplane's running, I don't hear it at all. So okay, we're looks like we're 9 miles out, so I'm gonna flip it. Say weather for Kilo Tango Hotel Victor.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Tango Hotel Victor is few clouds. Visibility is 10 miles, winds are 211 at 9 knots, gusts to 18 knots, cloud coverage is 4,300, few clouds. Current altimeter is 2992.
Could be entertaining.
Temperature 29.18.
Say active runway for Kilo Tango Hotel Victor.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 17.
Okay. Alrighty. So over here, 15, 16, 17. All right. We'll wait till we get to about 5 miles, drop off the autopilot and try to find me a runway. 3,600. Oh, she's little. Better have my A game on for this one. Want to make sure I know where it is. So I'm almost ready for in the correct approach for final. So we'll have to look. So it's got to be like straight out in front of us and kind of running the same direction we're going. So same thing as the previous airport. I'll have to maneuver around a little bit to do a proper approach. But unlike Harrisburg, I don't have a tower, so I'm on my own. Alrighty, got 5 miles. Full power back. Get this guy to descend. What's the elevation? This one's low too, so 1,400 feet. The elevation is 494 feet, so pattern altitude will be 1,500. So okay. I said we had some gusting going on too, so that'll make her entertaining. Rain helps too. Yeah, so it's saying it should be off to my left a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. .6 miles out, so. Nothing obvious. I swear I look for them and all of a sudden they just kind of appear. It's like, how is that possible? But this one's a little one though. This is 3,600, so 3.2. Is it right there? Yeah, that's it. Ooh. Okay. That's it right there. I see it. That's better. So in this case, I'm going to go this way. I want to make sure that's the runway, but that looks like it. Yep, that's it. So I'm going to come around the other way here. I'm going to do a teardrop out and come back around to get set up for a downwind of runway 18, 17. 18 would be south, Bill. So we are too high. So I'll pull back power a little bit because I'm like at 2,500 feet and I got to be 1,000 feet less, so for pattern. And 1,000 feet less of that to land. So we'll come out here a little bit and kind of try to make sure you don't lose it. That always happens. There it is. Okay. It just kind of depends on the angle you are. You can kind of like look and go, I don't see it, I don't see it. Oh, there it is. So we're going to go out this way a little ways. Kind of keeping that in my right window. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I used to run it for 11. I don't run it for 12. All I run is X World and Global Forest version 2. So I don't run Ortho for XP because I've heard that it messes with the shorelines, and since I live on a lake, a big lake, I don't feel like breaking it. so that's kind of where I am right now until X-Plane developers document what they've changed so that I can build new tiles that reflect that change. So that's kind of where I am right now. So. But all in all, I'm not disappointed with what I see, you know, so it's making sure I keep that airport where I know where it is. Okay, so I'm probably out far enough here that I can do a teardrop back, so I'm going to go out just a little bit further. Yeah, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. So 1400, okay. So I'm going to give it a little more power here. I'm going to do this around. So now I'm looking for this, looking for the airport. So I did a teardrop out. I'm trying to, I'll do a 180 back. And right now I'm trying to keep it level, turning but level. Because I'm at 1700, I need to be at 1400 for 1500 for pattern. So I'm about 100 feet, 100 to 200 feet short. Okay. Whoops. That was a really bad stutter. So, what did I do? I somehow lost the airport. I don't know how I did it. How did I do this? Boy, that sucks. I can't believe this. That's crazy. I don't know if I've done this before. Alright. Where did my airport go? It shouldn't have been that far away from that. Is that it right there? No, that can't be. I can't believe I did this. Yeah, yeah, absolutely revoked. It's not a big runway. It's like 3,600 feet, so it's not very big. And whenever you're doing this, you're trying to make sure that you don't like lose altitude, you know, when you're kind of searching. So it says it's over. Yeah, it's over there. Really? Where? Wow. I can't believe I did that. There. All right. See if I can actually do this time. That was disappointing. Seriously disappointing. I thought I had it and I had it, and nope, there it's missing. All right, so yep, okay. So, wow, it is amazing that could happen, but it did. So, okay. So, I'm supposed to turn out a little bit here. I want to go out far enough when I spin this around that it's going to be in front of me. All right. Well, let's see if I can find this thing now. You're always worried about like not turning too steep and keeping a plane level. There. Good Lord. Alrighty. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 17.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is York Unicom on 123.0. Please repeat your request.
My request is I was lost. Okay. That was priceless. Sorry if I didn't pay as much attention to chat as I probably should have, but I was trying to get unlost. I kept looking at my GPS kind of like, it's right there, Bill. Why can't you see it? Alright, we're good. Turn over here for base. Another notch of flaps. Not too steep. 1500 is probably okay as long as I keep descending. Too steep. There's the runway. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf turning final for runway 17 for touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is York Unicom on 123.0. Please repeat your request.
Got 2 notches of flaps in. Looking not too bad. I'm not going to stick around. I'm just going to touch and go. I don't think I did anything too illegal. Alrighty. Pull back a little more power here. Try and get the nose up a little bit. Oh yeah, you're like way too high, Bill. You're gonna slip. You probably slipped before that. Alright, we're okay though. The display's threshold, so we're fine. This is little. Oh my goodness. Come on, get on the ground. Oh, that looks entertaining. There's your 500-foot obstacle. I looked straight ahead and went, oh no. Oh, you did okay though. Yeah, that was a steeper rate of climb than I normally do. Oh, that was priceless. Yeah, especially after the crap I did to get here. Okay, gotta be on a heading of 96, so. That was great. Kind of like looked at it and went, oh yeah, you're good. I looked at the airspeed, yeah, I'm 60 knots, I'm good. We ain't stalling. We'll clear this. Alrighty. So going over to 90 knots, or to a heading of 96. Yeah, they're hard to see from here, but yeah, they're not far from that runway, and the ground's going uphill too. So, oh, that's priceless. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go over this way a little bit, trying to intercept my magenta line. I think this is the last my last airport. Well, that was more entertaining than it should have been, but all worked out. Well, let's check. Yep, one more. 44 miles away, so a little bit. About 30 minutes, so. Yeah, that'll be good. Maybe about 1:30 when I get done, so. Yeah, this evening at, I think around 6 o'clock, 6 or 6:30, I got a high school reunion I'm going to go to, so. Be my 55th high school reunion, so. I didn't start going until my 20th, so. But I've tried to make sure I could go to everyone since, so. So it's kind of cool, you know. So we won't have to cook supper tonight. Somebody else will. Okay, last one. Yeah, mine's not, where, ooh, that looks bad. Where we're having the reunion at is, at like an American Legion, but it's not too far from where, basically the high school was, probably 20 miles, something like that, so it's not too far away, so it's in the area, so. Well, I'm glad you went away. That didn't look good at all. Yeah, like I started on my 20th, and I've went to, they have them like every 5 years, and I've went to them ever since, so. But before I didn't go, so. I think I run into an old classmate, and he says that he was going. I went, no, I probably ought to go then, so. Whoops. Yeah, with, oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah, it's funny how some people change and then other people don't change at all. So it's kind of funny how that works. So. Because some people, you know, are kind of like, I'm not sure who this person is. So. But we had a pretty small class. I think it was under 100. It's probably 60 or 65. It wasn't very big, so it's a pretty small school. It was a school that the area that it pulled from was pretty big, but the number of people were pretty small. So everybody was kind of spread out, you know. So like my bus ride in the morning when I was going to high school was probably 2 hours. So we had a local bus route that picked up all the kids, and then we went to the grade school, and then three school buses from the grade school went to the high school. So that's kind of how my morning and afternoon went. So, but the high school bus went right by the road to my house. So a lot of times we'd get off early and just walk to the house. I was less than 1/8 of a mile from where the road was to where my house was, so it wasn't very far. And especially like in probably 9th. I think I started working when I was in 9th or 10th grade at the farm, and so I'd get up early so I could get down to the farm and work until milking was done. So I worked on a dairy farm for probably 3 years or something like that. So quite a while actually. Yeah, it couldn't have been in 9th grade. 9th grade I wrestled, so had to be in 10th grade I must have started. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, because many of the kids in my class I probably knew from elementary school. So you know, so I knew them, you know, my whole school time. So. Okay, looks like, whoops. I guess I got a tower. It says Philadelphia Tower. I didn't think I was going to Philadelphia, but the airport isn't Philadelphia. MQS is not Philadelphia. Set COM1 standby 124.350.
COM1 standby set to 124.35.
I better look at this on a map. Let's look here. Whoops. Oh. I need a different map. Oh, Washington. Hello. No. Tip. Washington. Okay, so yeah, that's interesting. Oh. So explain 12.06 beta 4. They brought OpenXR for that, and the problem is that for my VR controllers they weren't visible. So it took me a little while to figure out what was wrong, but the textures weren't getting loaded for them, and come to find out that Chris Serial thought that they needed to add artwork, but come to find out they've never had actual textures for the Valve Index controllers. They've always shared it with another controller. So once we found that out, then we got the textures to load, so the images were there, but even so, the haptics didn't work. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, they're weaker. Okay. So the haptics didn't work, and then he did another workaround that he finally got the haptics to work. So, and all that stuff's supposed to be in B5. So then I'll be able to use OpenXR and be able to test that part of it with controllers that I can see, haptics at work, and the other things that OpenXR brings along. So performance, I don't believe is one of them. Just doesn't appear that way to me. It may be in the future, but not right now. On your G2 or on your Crystal? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have a G2 to play with, so I'm kind of curious, because quite a few people were getting, if they used the OpenXR option, it was saying it was a Rift, and unless they did some massaging to the what were they playing? Oh, with the joystick config, the joystick settings config file. They had to do some massaging with that to get it to work right, but that's not how it should work. I mean, it should be if you don't even have that file, if you delete it. When X-Plane starts up, it should find your controllers and populate that itself. And also, like on the UI, the joystick settings UI, it should say WMR controller. That's what it should say. That's how it's supposed to work. Now, whether with the OpenXR option that is actually working on a G2, I don't know that. And I just kind of focused on what I had to get that to work. But there is a chance that some of that isn't working similar to how it wasn't working for me with my index controllers. So. But I just know exactly how it should work, and what I am going to do is when yeah, it's basically Steam VR with OpenXR support. That's kind of how I look at it. Is that it is Steam VR because you're like my OVR toolkit, that's all the Steam VR overlay stuff works. Where true OpenXR, that was big stutter. When OpenXR, the best of my knowledge, let me think about this before I say something wrong. Nah. Now, I don't know enough about that to fully understand. The only thing, this is what I do understand, is if you, so when I use OpenXR with my valve index controllers, if I look in SteamVR, there'll be an OpenXR section, part of a menu system, where I can click on that. Also, there will be OpenXR bindings that I have that are different than SteamVR bindings. They're completely different, and they have different names for the things that are part of the controller, the buttons and the that kind of stuff. They're completely different, you know. But further than that, I don't have a good enough understanding as to how all this is working. So I've been trying to get Chris to kind of like, be good if this was kind of documented, so you didn't just guess, you know. But currently it's not documented, so you're not so sure how this works. But what I do know is in the if you're using OpenXR, currently there's 4 JSON files, and those JSON files actually tell SteamVR's OpenXR, it tells it how the bindings should be coming from X-Plane. I know that's fact because originally the reason that my controllers didn't, I was also, they were saying I had a Rift. The Rift is a default because there was no JSON file for a valve index controller. Chris created one, and then I could actually see it. So I know that part, but what I want to do is after Beta 5 comes out, and it looks like all the OpenXR stuff is kind of working how they want it, or close, then I want to do a stream kind of just going over that, and it will just be my understanding, nothing official, just my understanding of how I'm finding it for my my controllers and that. That's what I plan on doing. So, but I didn't want to do it until everything from my end was working, and then so you can compare. This is what I see, as opposed to people with other headsets and controllers, what they see. Yeah. Because it's all, it's just not documented, you know. I mean, the last VR documentation was for 1120. That's just sad, but that is. Oh, it does work? That's cool. So one thing that a lot of people, and generally it's people coming from Primexes and from Arrows and G2s on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Most of these people are from Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's a program called OpenXR Toolkit. Now, OpenXR Toolkit. Now, basically what that allows you to do is make adjustments to OpenXR, and it's not really an overlay, it's more like an application, an app. And but the crazy thing about it is to actually enable it, you got to use a keyboard. I'm like, why can't you use like a VR controller? I mean, but that's not the way it works. So, but currently it doesn't work with X-Plane. But it sounds like the author from it has got it working, and he's going to release a version of it. So once we get OpenXR working, that should be coming down the road also. I've never used it, so I don't know what the benefits are, and maybe none for a Beyond user. But I would at least be able to try it. So. Oh, okay, okay, yep, yep. Already 13 miles to go. It looks like the weather's going to hold out enough for me to get to this last airport. What do we got here? So 5,300 feet, so that isn't too bad. So when I get to 10 miles out, I'll make a call, find out what's the active runway, and kind of go from there. Yeah, so I think each one of my flights are, if it's an hour, so it's probably about 150 miles. Maybe not that far. But it's far enough that you can actually see different weather patterns and stuff. So that's kind of cool, you know, where you can see the changing in the weather patterns. Oh, okay, okay. I've never used it, so yeah, that sounds really interesting. I mean, because it's probably about the only thing that I would want to improve would be sharpness. If I can improve sharpness without killing performance, that'd be great. That'd be great. So that's why I really want to try it, you know. But I know right now it doesn't work with X-Plane. So, but it sounds like the author's got. He's got it working on his system with I think it was 1206 Beta 4, I believe. It was either Beta 4 or Beta 3, and so he does have it working. So he's just got he seems quite meticulous, so he wants it right before he kind of gives it to the masses. So that's fine. Okay, 9 miles, so let me see. So 24, okay. Say weather for Kilo Mike, Quebec, Sierra.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Mike, Quebec, Sierra is few clouds. Visibility is 10 miles, winds are light and variable, cloud coverage is 7,000, few clouds. 9,500 few clouds. Current altimeter is 299.4. Temperature 282.20.
Say active runway for Kilo Mike, Quebec, Sierra.
Aircraft calling approach, say again with your call sign.
Okay. Looking bad. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, say active runway for Kilo Mike, Quebec, Sierra.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, you were garbled. Please say again.
Say active runway for Kilo Mike, Quebec, Sierra.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 11.
Okay. 11. Okay. Get out of the autopilot. Let's get down. Gotta get under this. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, inbound to land, runway 11.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, good afternoon. Expect runway 13.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, inbound to land.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf Roger.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Request landing.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. There is no runway at Chester County, G.O. Carlson. Please repeat your request.
Say active runway. Kilo Mike, Quebec Sierra.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 11.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request land. Kilo Mike, Quebec Sierra, runway 11. Okay, this is going to be entertaining. Okay, so I'm set up for a final on this. It's 3 miles out. So where'd you go? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I'll just get on the downwind and call. Because you look over here and it almost looks like that's an airport. And actually maybe it is. Yep, it is. 2 miles out? Yep, it's right there. Okay. So I'm gonna go over here. Hopefully I won't lose this thing. I'll get in a place where I can be downwind for runway 11. Elevation is 660, so patternly it's 1600, so 1700. Alrighty. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 11.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf altimeter is 299er4 call turning final for runway 13.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 11.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf call turning final for runway 13.
Okay. Looks like this isn't working out too good, but that's okay. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, permission to land. Kilo Mike, Quebec Sierra.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, there is no runway at Chester County G.O. Carlson.
Really?
Please repeat your request.
There's no runway. Easy, bro. Nah. Nope, I'm good. I see the runway. I don't care what he said. I just might have to get rid of some elevation. I was thinking pilot to ATC's is a little confused, but that's okay. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, when it said Philadelphia, I was like, why is it saying Philadelphia? So. That was Bill's poor attempt at slipping. I got enough runway to pull this off. Whoa. Let's see how this goes. I think I've seen GA planes up over here. All right. Put parking brake on. Whoops. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, clear of active runway 11.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, welcome to Chester County G.O. Carlson.
Well, it didn't say I landed on the wrong runway. That's a plus. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request taxi to general aviation parking.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, this is Philadelphia approach on 124.35. Please repeat your request.
And you don't care. Alrighty. Well, let's go down here and park. Yeah, we got all kinds of planes here. Wow. There's something written on the taxiway. Maybe I should have turned in. No, I can turn in here. Okay, we made it. Not bad. All right, see if I can turn this thing. Come on, turn. All right, turn off the avionics and the airplane lights. Okay, so we made it to Chester. So, like I said, we're pretty close. Got to be pretty close to Philly. That's Westchester. Yeah, so that's Philadelphia right there. So I'm gonna skirt all this, and my next flight will be going up this way up along the East Coast. Yeah, East Coast of Pennsylvania. So that's what the plan is. So it all worked out pretty good. Got lost and finally figured out where I was. And this was a little weird. It seemed odd. So when you look here, this is for here. It says Tower Philadelphia Tower, and so it actually is his approach by the looks of it. Yeah, that's approach. So more than likely, it really doesn't have a tower. So I probably just should have went with Unicom, and I just seen tower, and I went, oh, that'd be cool, you know. But it kind of worked about. So I would say half of it worked. So not all of it. So. All right, I'm going to call it a day, and sounds good. Okay, for everybody who stopped by today, thank you so much, and I will, I don't know when I'm streaming again, probably, I've been trying to stream like every 2 or 3 days, and well, thank you so much, I do my best, and so probably it'd be another 2 or 3 days I'll stream again. And so just waiting for the big stream beyond where I can actually show that off. So you too, Iowa. Thank you so much. If you enjoy this content, please click on the follow button. So when I go live, you can you'll get a notification. And like I said, I always try my best to go 15 minutes before the stream. I'll say stream starting soon, unless somebody chimes in chat. If somebody chimes in chat, like happened this morning, then I'll start the stream early. You know, that's the way that's how I've chosen to do it. So, and so this morning, can't remember now. I don't think he's still here. Oh, won't see him. And but he was a viewer from a couple of years ago, and so I basically started the stream up, got the video running, and I started probably 10 minutes early. But that's what I'll do. So thank you much. I'll have a great day. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this a lot, and I'm really enjoying kind of showing the clouds off. They do look really nice, and I kind of like watching the weather, different weather patterns as the clouds change. That's pretty slick also. So, bye bye.